Our last GNCC race at Snowshoe was the one no one wanted to win, as Brian Wolf snapped the chain while running out front, and then Chris Penton lost a lead to his teammate Adam McGill, who powered it home to take the victory and close in on the series lead. Racing is next. Welcome to Racer TV's coverage of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Jason Wagan here, your host. As always, this is the Weisco John Penton GNCC in Southern Ohio, Millfield to be exact. This race has been on the schedule for a long time. We've had some mud races here, we've had some dry races here, and it seems like very rarely do we get perfect weather somewhere in between. Although today might shape up that way. It looks beautiful so far. Had enough rain leading up where it shouldn't be too dusty out there. Here you see the track facts. 10-mile course. Our fastest riders should be able to put in 5 laps during that time. Over 1,100 riders on hand, many of which are out there right now. You see the clips of our morning race for amateurs. A handful of them, though, are in the top XC1 Pro class. They're the best riders in the world, and they're the ones we'll be focusing on in our show today. The Sunday Creek Motocross track is the heart and soul of this John Penton GNCC. It's got double and triple jumps. Should be fun to watch before the riders head off into the woods. John Penton, by the way, a pioneer in American off-road racing. He is the man who originally imported the KTM motorcycle to the U.S., so we named this race after him since he is an Ohio native. Now it's about time to clear the decks, get the mechanics and teams off the line, and it'll be nothing but racers and ATVs. Chris Boric, your series points leader, but with mechanical problems at our last race at Snowshoe, Adam McGill is closing in the series standings. So watch for Boric and McGill to try to get after it today with a whole bunch of other contenders looking to knock them off of the top 2 spots. Short start straight to the motocross track, and Kevin Yoho is going to lead everyone through, but that was an awfully good start. I don't know if he's going to collect that Motorsport Whole Shot Award or not. Might be some accusations of jumping that dead engine start. We'll try to get to the bottom of that later, but right now Yoho on the 13 is in the lead, with Taylor Kaiser, the Yamaha, right behind him. 341 is Ohio's own Brian Wolf, and he is already making tracks. Wolf won a round in Indiana a couple of weeks ago. Right now it's Yoho, a rookie in the pro class, with now Boric right behind him. And we are hearing they are going to strip Yoho of the Whole Shot Award and give it to Kaiser, who started second. So a false start for Yoho, and there will probably be a time penalty for him later on in this race. $250 from motorsport.com, though, going to go to Kaiser. Yoho, though, is still physically the leader on the course as he attacks the first major obstacle. A little mud hole followed by an uphill. This is classic cross country. You got Chris Bithell and Jeff Pickens coming through the next. Then it's Jared McClure on the Honda. Here is Kaiser, who's gone a little bit far back after the good start. Then it's McGill and Brian Cook. Johnny Gallagher coming through. And Brian Wolf making a move on Don Ackerman. Look at how close this pack is right now. It's about as tight as the sections can get in GNCC racing, just wide enough to fit an ATV through. These guys are just feeling their way through this section. You get sideways at all, you hit those trees, they don't move. I swear that they are built out of concrete, not wood. So you've got to be extra cautious through these sections, especially where you can tag a tree with the front wheel, bend a tie rod, and end your day real quickly. So right now, Yoho feeling good, although sometimes leading early is not where you want to be. You can't practice or pre-run on these tracks. Those are the rules. You learn the terrain as you race it. So sometimes these riders don't want to lead early. They'd rather have someone else figure their way out through the mess. As Wolf, very aggressive, looking to make moves and get up front, and he has. He has gotten around McGill early in this one. As Yoho still leads Boric, Bithell, Pickens, McClure, Kaiser, Cook, Wolf, and McGill all the way to the back of the train now. He has overcome some bad starts before, but making obviously life a lot harder on you. Here we are at the 8-mile mark, headed toward the end of this first lap. And look at how these riders attack a very rough section. Mud, hills, trees. Heck, they'll jump to the top of this thing. Looks like McGill has made a move on Cook as they are all battling back there, but we've got a new leader. It is Jeff Pickens out of Pennsylvania, now in the lead over Borich and Bithell. So what happened to Yoho? He has gone back to 4th down here in a water crossing section. Luckily for the riders, it is not too deep today. Very slippery down here, though. And the main thing, these riders do not want to get roosted. They do not want to get their hands or goggles ruined. As we see Johnny Gallagher there, the number 10. And they re-emerge here in the motocross track. And look at Borich go to the lead. Well, that was easy. Pickens, though, going to try to get it back. And he makes the pass. And how about Bithell right there? Side by side, all three. And Borich and Bithell are going to overcome Pickens on the moto track. Borich to the lead. Bithell trying to work him over to the inside. And Bithell takes it. Unbelievable racing here on the motocross course. Stay with us on Racer TV. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got unbelievable racing here in Ohio. Grand National Cross Country Series. Chris Bithell, Chris Borich. They passed each other a bunch of times already. Brian Wolf has come from outside the top 5 to 3rd. And we've got Pickens and Yoho duking it out right behind them for a piece of the top 5. There is McGill. McGill needs to move forward. He's got to challenge Borich to that championship. Look at this. Brian Wolf has taken over the lead. And a big shakeup here. We hear that Borich and Bithell both got hung up on a hill climb, so they've gone to the back of this group. And just as quickly as I said, McGill needs to move forward. He has. In fact, McGill has taken over the lead. The guy should pay me for advice like that. So he has passed 4 or 5 riders in one fell swoop. And that's the way it works in GNCC racing. Wolf and Kaiser 2nd and 3rd. Then it is Bithell. So Bithell and Borich were trying to run away with this, and they both got stuck together on a hill climb, and that has opened up the door. McGill and Wolf trying to take advantage right now, and they are really leaning on each other. With Kaiser running a little more conservatively in 3rd. Here is Bithell trying to make up for that lost ground. And where is Borich? Well, that's McClure coming through, so even more bad luck for Borich. He is headed to the back of the group. And we hear that Borich has actually hit a tree, and that's what knocked him even further back. Stuck on a hill climb, and then hit a tree. So he has got some work to do. And Adam McGill looking to take advantage again. He is your leader. The report is that Borich actually hit a tree with his helmet, not his machine, and got cleaned straight off the quad, so he might be hurting a little bit. Not hurting right now is McGill, trying to open up a lead, but with Wolf back there, I don't know if that's possible. Wolf has got speed to burn. He's been very impressive in his first year in the pro class. There's Kaiser in 3rd. There is Bithell, and there's a whole bunch of fans up there cheering these guys on. Right now, Adam McGill in one of the closest races to his hometown. He lives just outside of Clarksburg, West Virginia, maybe about 2 hours from here. He's got a lot of people happy right now as he leads this thing. No change in the running order. Man, these woods are dense. Lots of obstacles hidden down there in these ruts. You got some rocks, tree roots. The ruts themselves, of course, are an obstacle. And you see riders trying to experiment and get outside the main race line, especially as we roll up on some of the slower traffic. We do have amateur riders out there right now. That is holding up some of the riders. Yoho, Bithell. They've got their work cut out for them if they want to catch up to the leader. Unbelievable what McGill and Wolf have been able to do here at the midway point of this race. They are really opening up a lead. And you can see these machines sliding around. It is still very slick, like we said. This mud's sticky on plastic, slippery on tires, and it is so easy to grab too much throttle, spin sideways, and go straight into one of those trees. Borich knows that feeling, but he has begun to pick up the pace. He has gotten back around McClure, and Borich slowly beginning to work his way back toward the leaders. Now it is Wolf back in the lead. With his distinctive style, you hear him all over the rev limiter, and we have lost McGill. So just as quickly as things were working out brilliantly for the Warner Can-Am rider, he has now gone to the back of the field, and we hear there was some sort of problem with the machine. So Borich might not even realize this, but the man who was threatening to take over the points lead from him has gone to the back of the field, and Wolf is in the lead for the second time today. We say it every darn week on this show, these are not sprints, these are marathon races. Long way to go, but so far Wolf managing it best, and look at the pack of riders coming after him. This is going to be great as we hit the home stretch. Stay tuned. Powering through the pit lane is Brian Wolf, leading the pack, looking for his second win of the year. The GT Thunder crew going to work here. They're going to top off the fuel tank, fresh set of goggles. That's Lazarus and Brandon Summers. They're the pit crew, and they have got to be happy with what their man has done so far, and a thumbs up. He's happy with what they've done for him. Look at the lead Wolf has opened up. This is unbelievable. Almost 30 seconds. Kaiser is second. He goes into the Balance Racing Yamaha pit. Then you've got Bithel in the Can-Am pits and Boric all the way in the back in the Suzuki pits. And they're going to get out the same way they came in. Taylor Kaiser to the number 2 spot on the Yamaha. Then it's the Can-Am, then it's the Suzuki, with a Honda leading the way. So all the manufacturers represented well today. Wolf representing best, though, a 30-second gap. Now, he is a privateer, does not have factory backing from Honda. He does not care. He puts his throttle to the stops, and he has done some amazing things in his rookie year in this class. Kaiser, Boric, Bithel trying to run him down. Of course, you have to be careful late in the race, though, of Boric. We've seen him much further back than this and find a way to pull off overall victory. So Wolf knows he's got to keep the head down, keep charging, and not relax. And it's very hard to do that. He doesn't have anyone to follow. He doesn't have anyone to chase. He's all by himself. Looks like Bithel has now gotten around Boric and Kaiser. See, these three are leaning on each other, pushing each other, pacing each other. They might be able to catch back up to Wolf. We'll see. Check out the highlights of our morning race for our amateur riders. We mentioned this at the top of the show. Here's your women's class battling it out. Yes, they race full-on 450s. Looks like Kristen Atwell controlling the start in that division. And yes, we raced utility machines at GNCC. Andrew Langston on the 212, grabbing the whole shot over the man who's got most of the whole shots this year, Zach Sikowski, seen with the green on the front of his machine. These 4x4s, yeah, you figure they've got great traction and ground clearance, but they can go fast too, and they can even jump. Unbelievable, the evolution of these machines. Today, you also have to watch for Kevin Trantham in 4x4 lights. He's on a 500cc Can-Am, as opposed to the 800s in the open class. And Cliff Beasley is the man to watch in the U2 division. But every week we build up those stories, and the 206 of Dave Simmons in the 50-plus class comes out here and dominates it, and he does it again. He's your overall N-class winner. Tracy Checo here will take the women's class in 3rd overall. Kevin Trantham is your top utility rider. Here is Beasley winning the U2 class. Here's your overall podium. Simmons in the center, Trantham on the right, Checo on the left. And then your top utility riders, Trantham in the center, Brian Buchanan in 2nd, and Michael Swift in 3rd. Back to our afternoon race for the pro riders. Brian Wolf continues to roll, and I don't know if these guys are going to catch him. They might need a mistake out of him. Bithel and Boric, though, are starting to stir. And when these two hook up, we got Kaiser with them. But when those two begin to hook up, man, they can do great things. Dare I start calling them the new Killer Bees? We used to say that about Bill Balance, the 9-time GNCC champ, and Chris Boric when they were battling. Bithel and Boric seem to be taking each other's game to a new level as well. In fact, Bithel has gotten around Boric. Then you got Kaiser still stalking them in 4th. And Wolf continuing to lead the pack. Now, Wolf won the XC2 Pro-Am Championship a year ago. Already won 2 races overall coming from that 2nd row in years past. This year on the front row in the pro class has another overall win. So he's won 3 in his career. Could today be career win number 4? And onto the motocross track, and that looks like a Can-Am DS450 out front, so that means it must be Bithel. So as quickly as we were building up the accolades to Wolf, he has dropped to 3rd, paddling here with Boric for the number 2 spot, and getting edged out. So as we suspected, there was a chance that when Bithel and Boric hooked up together, they could run Wolf down. They have done that. Although they had some help, Wolf got hung up, we hear it, in one of those creeks, trying to pass a lap rider, and he lost a lot of ground too. And Kaiser in fourth is still in contention. We have 4 riders going for the lead, and we're headed toward the last lap. You gotta stay with us. Check out the finish. What a tremendous race we have had today in Ohio. The best ATV riders in the world going at it. Chris Bithell leading Taylor Kaiser, Brian Wolf, and Chris Borich, and they have all had their share of the lead at some point today. Right now, it's Chris Bithell in the point position with 2 laps to go. But you gotta watch his third place man, Wolf. He had a big lead at one point, got stuck in the mud, has had to mount a come from behind chart. Does he have anything left in the tank, or is this Bithell's race to lose? And also, Kaiser, he's been very quiet in the number 2 spot. Haven't seen many ups and downs from him. He might just be waiting. See, in contrast, Borich in fourth. He has had good moments and bad. It's been a wild race for him as the top 4 here drop back down into the mud. Jump into the mud for Wolf. It looks like no goggles for Borich. And these are just fun conditions to watch. You got rocks, mud, tree roots, ups and downs. Fans of the woods, helping point out the good lines to the riders, and even some broken down equipment to avoid. And now Borich in the lead. Word is that Bithell hit a tree himself, so that has happened several times today. Borich hit one earlier, went to the back of the train. Now Bithell has run into one. He has gone to the back of the group, and Borich takes advantage. And now Borich loses the lead to Kaiser. And I think Kaiser was a snake in the grass today. He has played it conservative, he has saved his energy, and now that it's the last lap, he has pounced. Or I guess, to stick with the snake analogy, he has struck. And it's up to Borich to try to run him down. Let's see if Wolf has anything left. As they roost our camera lens. Come on, guys, that stuff's expensive. And Borich is back in the lead again. How many times can the lead change hands in this race? As we see Wolf and Kaiser second and third. And is fatigue a factor? We all know well what Chris Borich can do late in these races. He always waits until the last lap to really unleash the fury. Wolf and Kaiser are still right behind him, but you're asking a lot to ask someone to run Chris Borich down and pass him on the last lap. And the fans pointing out the lines. Borich goes right to left. Kaiser, you see in third, struggling to make that hill, and Borich, man, I get suckered in every time. It looks like they've got the guy up against the ropes. It looks like his back is up against the wall. From the last lap, he unleashes something no one can match, and he's pulling away as we head to the motocross track. We'll stay with him through the full motocross lap here to see if Borich can hold on, and he is really fast on the open stuff. So, Wolf and Kaiser, you know they're not going to give up. They can see the lead and the overall victory right in front of them. Can they mount one last push to get to Borich? Borich up over the tabletop. Now going to hang a left-hand turn. He certainly looks good, but it also looks like Wolf and Kaiser are pushing themselves closer. Get about half of this lap down. We're headed toward the finish. Look at Kaiser leaning on Wolf. Borich clears the doubles, and Kaiser goes for second and shuts the door. He's up to second, but I think he's out of time. Last corner, Chris Borich wins in Ohio. Kaiser a strong ride for second, and Brian Wolf gotta be a little bummed out on that. He takes third after leading a big majority of this race. Here are your results. Look at the variety of brands there up at the top 4. Bithell hangs on for fourth. Bad news out of the top 10 is McGill. Let's send it to Krista Shaw on the podium.
Chris Borich taking the win here today at Millfield for the 3rd year in a row. Chris, you did a great job out there. Tell us a little bit about your race.
We got a good start out there, and just back and forth all day. I mean, I'd get stuck, or Bithell got stuck in front of me on the hill, and we both had to come down the hill backwards, and we lost a lot of ground. And just a long day. I mean, back, forth, finally got going into the lead there at the end, and just tried to put my head down and get a good gap, and that's what I did, and was able to capitalize on it.
And the point standing, man, McGill was right there coming into this one. He is right back out of there for finishing 14th with mechanical troubles today. Kaiser in the top 3 based on consistency. Let's give you the Can-Am race recap, show you how it broke down. Kevin Yoho was first off the line, but too quick actually was penalized for jumping the start. Here we are at the end of lap number 1. A tremendous battle. Bithell and Boric in the lead. They hooked up early, then they got stuck on a hill. You heard Boric mention that, and that would open up the door for Brian Wolf. Wolf pulled a 30-second lead on the field at the halfway point. It looked like it was all his. Then he got stuck in the mud, and that gave Bithell the lead again. Then Bithell ran into a tree, and that opened the door for Kaiser, Wolf, and Boric to have a full-scale last lap battle. It came down to the motocross track. There's Boric in the lead. Kaiser will swoop past Wolf to take second. Runs out of time to try to stop Boric from going to victory lane. Great racing. Thanks for watching. For Krista Shaw, I'm Jason Wygant. We'll see you next week.